Hello, everyone, and welcome to the exam tips for performance management exam December 2023. Now, for my tips, I'm basing on some of the examining team comments that came through from the last exam sitting and are commonly the mistakes that students make. So, the first mistake is of having poor technical knowledge and not reading the question carefully. Now, you have to appreciate that in the OTQs in section A and B, a lot of questions can be tricky in the sense that they can be negative wordings, which of the following are not likely to, or which of the following are incorrect. So, you need to read the question very carefully and have a good, strong understanding of the technical concepts. Second one is poor interpretation and lack of answer planning. Like I have shown in our classroom revisions as well as the videos, it's very important, guys, to plan your answer, especially if it's a theory answer for section C. Draw out a mind map of your answer and then start writing. It will avoid any kind of confusion in the middle of the answer. It will help you with clarity and vision. Next is, and I cannot leave my tips without saying this, is about time management. So practicing and keeping timed practices using stopwatch, this will help you build up your speed, which is very, very crucial for PM. And lastly, I would say that you have to understand the action words of any section C requirement where a question says describe or analyze or evaluate. You need to understand what is required of you. So in conclusion, a thorough practice, a right exam technique, a good answer strategy, and an efficient use of time will help you ace this exam. A very good luck to all of you.
Hi guys, as you approach the tax exam, just few pointers to keep in mind before the real exam is here. Keep in mind that tax is all about the rules. If you know the rules, the exam is going to be very easy. So make sure that you spend more than enough time to by heart these rules. Never skip any chapter, including chapters like tax admin, VAT, where there's a lot of theory. Students usually think that it's just theory, how bad is it going to be? But those chapters can come in our exam for 10 to 15 marks. So please make sure that you go through every chapter, understand the tax admin rules, remember and by heart them. Not just once, but try revising them as many times as you can before the real exam date. Once you're done with the summary sheets, make sure that you go through the mock feedback. Don't just check if you've passed or failed the mock exam, but actually go through your feedback. Check which chapters you didn't do well. Surprisingly, students find CGTR chapters or questions that they thought they would have done well. But when they go through the feedback, they realize that they didn't read the question carefully. Maybe they didn't realize that there was a variation over there, or that they didn't realize that they had to time a portion. So go through the mock feedback, understand where you've gone wrong, and practice those questions from those particular chapters so that such mistakes will not be made in your real exam. Finally, make sure that you go through 2 more mock exams before the real exam date. One is the ACCA pre-mock December mock exam, which is released for this particular December sitting. So please make sure that you go through the December mock, do it within 3 hours, go and do a self-check to see where you've gone wrong. And if you've done it badly, redo the exam again. Do the same thing with the specimen exam as well. Make sure that you attempt these mocks till you're very comfortable with them. Once you're done with that, go back to your summary sheets, revise them till you feel extremely confident about it. I'm sure each and every one of you have put the effort and you will do well. All the best.
Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to the exam tip session for the December 2023 financial reporting exam. First things first, any ACCA paper needs very critical time management. So make sure that you're managing your time throughout the exam. You have 1.8 minutes per mark. So this means if you're doing a 20 marker question in section C, you will have 36 minutes to do that. Make sure that you're managing your time well for the entire exam, whether it is section A, section B, or section C. Moving on, you need to have a very, very strong grip on accounting standards because there is no financial reporting without accounting standards. Accounting standards help you prepare financial statements, help you solve the small Section A MCQs, which are 2 markers, helps you understand how each transaction will be impacting different aspects of a financial statement. So, any accounting standard, whether it is non current assets, whether it is impairment, whether it is financial instruments, you need to have a very strong grip on that. Now, please make sure that you read the questions in the exam very, very carefully. Especially your section A and B will be an MCQ based, where you will have to read the questions very, very carefully. Watch out for any mid-year acquisitions or disposals of subsidiaries in a consolidation question. Watch out for any mid-year acquisition or disposals of non-current assets, because that would change the way you calculate the depreciation. Watch out when the revaluations are happening, especially reading the dates and checking if the revaluation happened at the start of the year or the end of the year for a non-current asset. So such things are very, very important, and you'll only be able to pick them up if you read the questions properly. My final tip will be to start the exam from section C. Do the interpretation question first, then do the published accounts or consolidation question, then move on to your section A and B. Wishing you good luck for the December 2023 sitting.
Hello all, hope you're doing well. This is Preeti, your AA tutor, and these are your final tips before you go into your AA exam. Please keep in mind you have 2 sections, out of which I would recommend you to start with section B of the paper. The reason being is because number 1, it comprises of around 70% of your paper, and number 2, it takes some time for you to complete it. So I would recommend you to start with section B of the paper, of which you will need to allocate around 45 minutes for the 30-marker question and around 30 minutes for each of the 20-mark question. So you will be taking around a total of 2 hours to complete your section B of the paper. Followed by that, you proceed to do section A, where you need to allocate around 1 hour to complete section A. Please do spend some time. Do not ignore section A. Spend some time in section A so that there is a probability for you to be able to get some marks from section A, even though it is one of the toughest sections. Okay, do revise through your topics before you go into the exam. Do make sure you revise through your accounting standards. Number 2, you go through the AA summary sheets, which will help you to recap on all the probable knowledge, I would say most of the probable knowledge questions that can come through the exam. On top of that, it will help you to revise through your audit risk. You have your controls, you have your substantive procedures, as well as audit reports. Please make sure you're going through the formats as well, along with the topics that you need to remember. Especially when we're talking about controls, make sure you revise through the cycles before you go into the exam. Do not ignore, you have topics like ethics and corporate governance as well, which you will need to go through it. All the very best, guys, for your exam, and hope you do well.
Hi, my name is Mustafa, and here are your tips to mastering the financial management exam. First and foremost, dive deep into the investment appraisal chapter. Know the methods and formulas like the back of your hand. Pay special attention to the different variables, and when faced with a question, carefully read the requirements to pick the right ones. Understanding this chapter is key given its significance in the exam. Now, about those multiple choice questions that make your head spin, 60% of the exam is objective. So don't let the confusing options throw you off. Read each choice meticulously to identify the correct one. Remember, a careful eye can be the difference between a correct answer and a common pitfall. Now, theory makes up 60% of the exam, so don't underestimate its importance. Dedicate time to thoroughly understand and absorb the theoretical elements. This knowledge will not only boost your overall score, but also provide you with a well-rounded understanding of the principles. Now, here is a goldmine for you, the Test Reach platform. It offers 9 sample papers to hone your skills. Completing these papers not only familiarizes you with the ACCA platform, but also provides valuable insight, especially for the spreadsheet section. So don't miss out on this resource. Lastly, time is of the essence. Effective time management is your secret weapon, so don't linger too long on a single question. If it's proving challenging, move on and circle back later. Prioritize based on your strengths to maximize your score within the given time. Remember, it's not about what you know, but how well you manage your time. I hope these tips have been helpful. Best of luck and have a nice day.